smothered sobs. "I have been suffering for years, ever since father took the cabin from their mother, and so have you." "Yes, but " "I want to keep them here and make something of them. They are too good to beg." He could not speak, for now the tears were beyond his control, but he took his old mother's withered hand and patted it. Then he jumped up as if something had frightened him. What would father have said of this? "Father had his day at ruling," retorted the mother. "Now it is your day. As long as father lived we had to obey him. Now is the time to show what you are." Her son was so astonished that he ceased crying. "But I have just shown what I am," he returned. "No, you haven't," protested the mother. "You only try to be like him. Father experienced hard times, which made him fear poverty. He believed that he had to think of himself first. But you have never had any difficulties that should make you hard. You have more than you need, and it would be unnatural of you not to think of others." When the two little girls entered the house, the boy slipped in behind them and secreted himself in a dark corner. He had not been there long before he caught a glimpse of the shed key, which the farmer had thrust into his coat pocket. "When the master of the house drives the children out, I'll take the key and run," he thought. But the children were not driven out, and the boy crouched in the corner, not knowing what he should do next. The mother talked long with her son, and while she was speaking, he stopped weeping. Gradually his features softened. He looked like another person. All the while he was stroking the wasted old hand. "Now we may as well retire," said the old lady, when she saw that he was calm again. "No," he said, suddenly rising. "I cannot retire yet. There's a stranger without whom I must shelter to night." He said nothing further, but quickly drew on his coat, lit the lantern, and went out. There were the same wind chill without, but as he stepped to the porch, he began to sing softly. He wondered if the horse would know him, and if he would be glad to come back to his old stable. As he crossed the house yard, he heard a door slam. "That shed door has blown open again," he thought, and went over to close it. A moment later he stood by the shed, and was just going to shut the door when he heard a rustling within. The boy, who had watched his opportunity, had run directly to the shed, where he left the animals, but they were no longer out in the rain. A strong wind had long since thrown open the door and helped them to get the roof over their heads. The patter which the master heard was occasioned by the boy running into the shed. By the light of the lantern the man could see into the shed. The whole floor was covered with sleeping cattle. There was no human being to be seen. The animals were not bound, but were lying here and there in the straw. He was enraged at the intrusion, and began storming and shrieking to rouse the sleepers and drive them out. But the creatures lay still and would not let themselves be disturbed. The only one that rose was an old horse that came slowly toward him. All of a sudden the man became silent. He recognized the beast by its gait. He raised the lantern, and the horse came over and laid its head on his shoulder. The master patted and stroked it. "My old horsey, my old horsey," he said. "What have they done to you? Yes, dear, I'll buy you back. You'll never again have to leave this place. You shall do whatever you like, horsey mine. Those whom you have brought with you may remain here, but you shall come with me to the stable. Now I can give you all the oats you are able to eat without having to smuggle them. And you're not all used up either. The handsome horse on the church knoll, that's what you shall be once more. There, 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 there. End of The Wind Witch. Read by Lars Rolander.